Alright, so I got the mini block set up in this guy now. This is what the GDT looks like. I actually kind of worked on this for a while. There might be some little extra stuff I need to do on the driver portion here. That was just a random DC blocking cab, and this is about the same GDT I was using to drive the half bricks. Thing is, the half bricks, it seemed like the switching was only going to get so good with those. I didn't have any ringing, didn't have any overshoots. The rise time was pretty slow. There's something that might be going on there. But then when I switched over to the mini blocks, I was getting real bad low frequency ringing on the gates. So something that looked like this with about 5 ohms. So instead of settling on something like this with a real bad slope over, got a long transition there, at about 15 ohms, I settled for something like this, right? So that's sort of what the gate drive waveform looks like. Might be a little more exaggerated than that, but the overshoot's not too bad. Doesn't really seem to be a problem. But the rise time's not too great. It's like 260 nanoseconds, right? So with 10 ohms. And here's the MMC I decided to go with. So we got 100 of these capacitors. Ended up doing a 6S. I don't even know what that is. Something P. But this actually comes out to over 26 nanofarad. So what I'm probably going to do is just start chopping these P's down to tune it. But this will be basically like a 6 kV cap. And these caps are actually a little smaller than I thought they would be. I feel like they'll survive at least for the meantime, but I might have to upgrade that. So it's still running off secondary resonance right now, secondary feedback. So I haven't built this primary LC circuit, but again, just sort of going to run it with that. It took me a while to actually switch out the bricks that I was using down there. So I'm probably going to use that full bridge for an induction heater or something like that. But I decided, since I sort of overbuilt this whole build, it's pretty legit. So I'm just gonna throw those guys in here and sort of try to take this further. And also, when it comes to this guy, the 4S battery deal, I actually did swap out the old capacitor. So now I've just got these 4 capacitors in there, right? So that's basically what it comes down to. Caps are pretty small. Took quite a bit of weight out of it, right? So I mean, that's all that is. And I actually could just change around the design of that, create a gun out of it if I wanted to. I don't know if I will anytime soon, but yeah, that worked out pretty good. All right, so I'm just gonna run this guy just for a little bit, secondary feedback again, just to sort of compare. I want to say I see a slight bit of a difference. Not a very huge difference. Only other difference being, so I actually did add a little phase lead adjustment on the Schmidt trigger feedback right here. If I get the PLL set a particular way and I observe the bridge waveform or the output, is there any tuning I can get on here that might change that switching around a little bit? And it actually did. I was able to sort of tweak it a little bit to remove some of the switching spikes. It's kind of interesting. I haven't really looked all the way into what that's doing, but I can kind of shift that around and get that output to change around a good bit. There's a certain region that I put it in where it starts to switch pretty bad. I get pretty bad switching spikes. Outside of that, it starts to look pretty clean. But yeah, that's about the only adjustment. Didn't really need it, I would say, but I guess it's kind of cool to have. So again, this is going to be the ramp, and start cutting that up. All right. So that's going to be, about 50 volts or so. Amplitude all the way back. So right there. Alright, again, that's about 100. Alright. Kind of cut the on time up some. So just like the other one, if I cut the on time up enough, you know, it does sort of get rid of a lot of the branches. Does sort of a nice fat little sword arc. So again, I'm actually not quite up to 100 yet. This damn thing. Right. So keep going up a little bit. So with this one, I'm not quite sure at what point it's going to give me that problem where it starts popping and stuff. But I'll say I can notice a little improvement using the Miniblocs, right? So now we're like right on 100, a little bit more. So I'm not really gonna, keep bringing it up because the point is dual resonant, just to compare. So I'd say that might be a little bit better. I'd say it probably is a little bit better, especially like, so bring it back down to about 100 exactly. All the way down as I crank the on time up. That starts to look pretty fat. Pretty long on time there. Yeah, right about that on time I kind of like. So yeah, except for this little nub right here, which could be caused by several possible reasons, ramp does look a little cleaner. So I think that is switching a little bit better. And it's actually looking pretty good. So I'll say the way that's running reminds me a whole lot of that double full bridge I've got over there using the 247 IGBTs. So the Miniblocs right here look like they're going to work out pretty good.